Good, Roddy. You late? Nah, bro. I'm right on time, bro. Good, Googie. It's good, Manny. It's good, Minced. You just took a short. Good luck, bro. Do you still work a job? Nah, bro. It's been a while since I've worked a job. What's your bias? We'll cover at 9:25. Nope, I did not execute any trades today. Not on my funded, at least. We'll cover bias at 9:25. Good, Garrett. What's good, guys? What's good, Kispe? Gio, what's up, brother? Love weekend. I don't know about that, but maybe. I took a short from all time yesterday and didn't hit TB for 20 hours. Damn. What is the Fed yapping about? Is he still live? What's good, Arthur? What's good, Yoshi? Get a payout this week, boys. Not that that that's the goal, but let's do it anyways. We've been taking some pretty good trades recently, so if we can just keep following the rules, it could be relatively easy. Need 4 more winning days. Nice, bro. I'll cover bias at 9:25. When was your last trade? I don't know, Friday, I think. $500 from a payout. Been trying to stay locked in. Yeah, you just gotta stay locked in, bro. First alpha payout. Nice, positive. You got the zero EVA. Good shit, bro. Good luck with that account. Trade ball. You got a tie stop. Good luck, bro. That was the last trade that I fumble. That's why, Yoshi, I don't even trade with my balance on anymore. Like, I have no idea how much I'm up or down on my funded accounts. I just wait till I go on a nice win streak and I kind of know, like, I'm probably eligible or not. I don't even trade with balance on, bro, because every time I get close, I can't help but start thinking about the money. I'm not saying it like I start necessarily affecting me, but it's not as easy as if I'm just trading without that idea of getting a payout. What's the chart telling you? I'll let you guys know at 9:25. One ornament and lose. Nah, I feel you, Yoshi. It's actually a pretty good thing to do, bro. Like, obviously, you'll know day to day how much you're up or down, but overall, if you wait a couple days, you're just gonna lose track. You're not even gonna know how much you're up. No, I don't have a job. People be trading Gaddy like the chart whisperer, because I am the chart whisperer, bro. Why 9:25? because it's 5 minutes before market open and it gives people enough time to join the live stream. So I don't have to repeat myself. Once I close chat and I start trading, well, then whoever came early gets to know what my personal game plan is. Which trading you plan gives me 30-second chart. I think you need premium. Is there a reason to go for alpha advanced now that they have the zero accounts? If you're gonna go for alpha advanced, there's one reason only. You're pretty much going for a max payout. If you're not going for a max payout, I wouldn't go for the advanced account. Otherwise, if you go, there's really no other benefit to it. Or if you want to say larger payouts. If you just want to get like a lot larger payouts between like 5K and 15K payouts, go for the advanced. The no consistency rule will help you there. But if you're not going for those big ass payouts, then I would just do the standard or zero. Do you think we can take any liquidity before ripping today? I would hope so. Who knows? It doesn't matter. You just wait for it anyways. Have you bought anything with payout money only? Yeah, of course. I put most of my money back into my live account. Full port advance and buy a Rolex. You could do that. You definitely could. Extend yesterday's AM first presentation. I'm personally not going to use that, but you can use it if you want. Thanks, Yoshi. What is a zero plan on Alpha? It's a no activation fee account. So if you can pass, which you can pass in 1 day if you wanted to, you don't have to pay an activation fee. What's good, Danny? How do I hide P&L on TradeEvade and TradingView? I would just ask ChatGPT. I actually don't know. You buy leverage. I don't leverage my money, no. I just trade with cash. There might be like a tool that's like streamer mode, Yoshi, I feel like. Why don't you sell? It's 8 minutes before market open, and there's just no way I'm gonna sell right here. It's like 1,000 reasons why I wouldn't sell. How does consistency work on Alpha? Consistency rule works the same on every single firm. I'm gonna say it once, so listen closely. Your total profits when you request a payout cannot be. Sorry, let me restart. So when you're going to request a payout, your best trading day, P&L wise, cannot be 40% of your total profits. For example, when you go to request a payout, if you have $10,000 made on the account, your best trading day cannot be 4,000 because that would be 40%. That's it. It's not a rule you have to follow 24/7. It's simply when you go to request a payout, you will only be eligible if your best trading day is less than 40% of your total profits at the time that you're going to request. That's all it is. Sella NQ2, I'm not going to trust you, bro, but good luck. Hey, guy, I need 390 to pass my account. Nice, bro. Just keep trading normally. Pretend you need 2,000 to pass. Bro, my model short formed again pre-market, but we ain't taking it. How you look, Ryan? I'm good, bro. You said the same thing yesterday, Ryan. Looking for a previous stage low? Possible. Definitely possible. I need 3K to pass. I'm with Bipolar Futures. Good luck, bro. Thank you. Got you, bro. Safe to assume we are bullish daily bias until Thursday. First things first, don't try to predict the next sessions and the next days. There's really no telling what any given moment can do. But I'll cover my bias, and I guess we'll do it now. Okay. So let's cover a couple of important things here. There's a couple of important things we need to discuss when we're going to talk about today's bias. Let me hide this. Okay. Two main factors here. Okay. One. The S&P 500 wicked pretty aggressively from previous week's high. Normally, when I see this, I would expect previous day's low to get taken. However, the Nasdaq seems to be more bullish in that sense. So it's a difficult situation in that sense on the daily chart. 15-minute chart. we have bullish order flow going into the day. We've done business below midnight open. We have session liquidity that's still open. So in my opinion, the immediate draw is London high and Asia high, and potentially previous day's high, which is the all-time high here. Okay, that's the game plan going into market open. We have bullish order flow going into the day. London high, Asia high, all-time high. Those are the targets. If we take out buy side and start to aggressively break down, then I would probably go back to that narrative where we take previous day's low. But if we don't do that, then I'm probably not going to be shorting today. If this does happen, I might have to wait for a protraction model because I may not trust the original reversal. So that's the game plan for today. If you're late, no, I don't trade pre-market. Is the account blown up at requested payout anyways? FE on EFX? No, it's not blown. Good morning, Lee. What's good, Ollie? Been on a cold streak last 4 trading days, but still have over 1,000 in drawdown. You got it, bro. Cold streaks happen. So you're looking for sell. Bro, did you not hear everything I just said, bro? Alright, I'm gonna repeat it one more time. The game plan, my game plan. You don't need to have the same game plan as me. You can look for something else. That's okay. My game plan, going into 9:30 open, I'm gonna look for London high. I'm gonna look for Asia highs, and if we continue the bullish order flow, previous day's high. Bullish going into open. Right now, as of right now, bullish. If we take out the buy side and start to break down aggressively, I will start to change my bias. I will look for low of day and I'll look for new week opening gap because, and that's just not because bearish order flow. That is because that would confirm to me that we're not going to take previous day's high. This wick on ES will be respected and we're probably going to go for previous day's low. In which case, the drawn liquidity is probably this imbalance. Okay? That's basically the game plan. Right now, I'm not convinced of that because order flow is bullish. We have session liquidity above. We're also an all-time high, so we're just more likely to go up. So that just makes it, as easy to trade as possible. So if we can get, I don't know, maybe a classic model long, although I don't think that would form. Even a classic model short wouldn't be bad here. ES looks quite awful. For NWAG, I just mark it out myself. These are the indicators I use. The watermark right here, and I use the kill zones and pivots TFO. I stream on YouTube and TikTok. YouTube chat's a little bit more sophisticated. It's easier to talk to YouTube chat. But anyways, when I'm trading, which will be right now, I'm going to minimize chat. So you are not going to trade today. You're not. You're trolling me. I'm going to minimize chat now. I'm going to open up my funded accounts on my second monitor. If anyone joins late, too bad for them. I'll be copy trading some Apex. I got my alpha funded and the 1-0 eval. I want to open an account. And that is the game plan. I have to calculate risk pretty quickly, but should be fine. All right, there's 9:30 open. We take London high on open. The most important account will be the most important accounts. The main focus here are my alpha futures funded. Alpha future funded. I'll prioritize the execution on that. Okay. 9:30 opens up. We trade higher. Get the close below. You could actually take this as a classic model. I'm gonna view if there's an obvious draw. Oh my. Like for example, if we get the 15-minute CISD here, I'm probably bearish for the rest of the session. Anyways, there's no way we can really short this. 930 takes the high, starts going lower. I don't have a clear draw on liquidity, so I cannot take this classic model. Even if I did, there isn't enough good risk to reward to take the trade anyways. Now, I could view this as a reversal model, although the risk reward would still be quite awful, so we could have to wait for a protraction. Obviously, we got the CISD here. So pretty aggressive dump on open. Really aggressive dump on open, yeah. So this is the kind of order flow I was talking about. This probably shifts my bias. It makes me think that we're likely to take previous stage low. But we're kind of just more playing it by ear, for being honest here. But so we'll have to wait for a protraction model. I feel like we might stay aggressive all the way to previous stage low. We could reverse, obviously, but right now with that bearish order flow, we're obviously going to shift on the 15. I mean, we don't know for sure. We could get a huge wick, but assuming we get that 15-minute CISD from London highs, I would argue that's probably gonna be a bias switch there, and we're probably gonna get that shift. So now we just wait for a protraction model. I actually don't expect this high to get taken, to be honest. I think this could stay one-sided lower. So for now, we'll assume this high is protected. Look for a protraction model. See if we can execute on that. I'm gonna start. For those of you who know my 1 hour ATM model, I'm gonna start going to the gym a little bit later. That way I can trade the model on my computer. I'm not gonna change how I trade. I may add a couple of layers, but I'll start trading that on my computer, which should help. Um, which should help. First presentation, fair value gap. We may get an order block here that we could potentially execute. So this is how I calculate risk fast. I start predetermining how much I may be risking. 14.25, that means $25. Divide my risk by $25. If I'm risking, right, so 25. If I'm risking 125, right, that's 5 micros on the 100K, 10 micros, 0 eval, 20 micros. I'm already starting to know around how many micros I'm going with. And then worst case, I can just add contracts, right? Always risk under if you're not sure. I wouldn't trust this order block now. Not a deep enough premium offered. Still pretty deep into discounts. We have the open 4, the open 5. So if we could just, come a little bit higher. This order block is going to form, and it definitely could just speed up price delivery. It may be worth a half risk trade because the risk reward is so good. But what I'm looking for is ideally we take out this high. Yeah, let's go higher. I'd prefer us go higher. Let's just say that much. I would prefer us take out this high right here, this previous candle high. Touch the 4-minute. The 5-minute can stay a breakaway if it wants. Doesn't matter to me. Obviously, the order block will still be right here. Now we have an SMT, 931 candle. I'm not going to annotate it. So I'm just going to see. If we get closure below here, I'll likely execute the trade. With the SMT now, ES offered a deeper discount, right? We get 18 points risk. Previous stays low. Strong draw. Pretty decent protraction model. 125 divided by... See, I'm already calculating my risk for the potential trade that might form. It's going to be an 8 micro trade here. So it's going to be around an 8 micro trade, it looks like. We may not get the shift. I think the 5 minutes forming, we may touch that. ES is almost at the highs. It's going pretty deep into there. So we'll see if we can break down. The 4-minute is about to get tapped. There's the 4-minute tap. The OB is kind of confusing now. So we'll just wait and see. There's the 3-minute tap. This would technically be our new order block, so I'll annotate it as so. Ooh. 5 minutes still forming, 40 seconds left. Let's see if we get this premium fair value gap. We're still going higher. I like that we have 2 consecutive candles now. A little bit more significant if we do get the order block. We do get the SMT at buy side here. I'm going to remove the 830 opening price marker. Because they're relatively close, I don't need it. I have the benefit of just using one. And we'll see if we get the order block here. If we get the order block, I'll execute. I could maybe demand an inversion on ES. But with the SMT there, I don't think I need more of a confirmation. 20-point risk. Around 20-point risk. So... 3 micro. So if you call it a 7 micro trade there. Alright, if we get the closure below here, I'll execute. It'll be 3 micros on the 50K. Alright, looks like we're gonna get the fill. So let's try this trade. Obviously we're in micros. We're not actually in minis. So this is just this one's a paper account. We're in this trade with micros. I guess the 7 was a little bit high there. We'll throw the TP all the way down to previous day's low, see what we get. All right, so we're in the trade. Let's look for opportunities to reduce our risk. Currently, my risk covers the high, the order block, right? Obviously, I want to look for another protraction model to form that would allow me to reduce my risk even further. We have the first sell side pool right here. The first sell side pool right there, that black line. Would I partial there? Probably not. I can reduce my risk to the body high here. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now we really need to set up. I really need to get just a trade copier on all 50. I really got to get rid of these accounts, bro, if I'm being honest. I really just got to get all the same size account because this is really annoying to deal with. Anyways, we're looking at low of day here as a target. This is low of day right here. I'll put an eye on that. And we'll see if we can get follow through. Right now, the main thing I'm looking for is reason to reduce risk. We have not formed another protraction model, so I really can't reduce my risk right now. We're potentially forming another protraction model here, so we'll see if we get that. We could put our stop loss here at 304. I think I'm going to do that on the premise that if we are going to reach up into that imbalance, we really shouldn't fill it completely. It should stay heavy. So at least I can reduce my risk in that sense. We did just take out that level. I think a small partial there must suffice. A small partial there to suffice for a risk reduction. And we'll see if we can continue towards previous day's low. On this account, I don't even know. How much do I need to pass this? I need 1500 still. Okay. On the 0 eval, we might just go for it if I'm being honest. We just made full go for previous day's low. So small partial to just help reduce the risk. Because we didn't form another protraction model, there's nowhere for me to really reduce my risk on the trade. So with that being said, I need to find a way to reduce my risk. And this is that way, right? Partialing at the buy side, the sell side level. Let's clean the chart up a bit. Now, just want to see speed, right? We're retracing into a 2-minute fair value gap. Hopefully that gives us the order block that allows us to reduce our risk. So if we can get closure below here after this retracement, that would be ideal. There's the 2-minute fair value gap tapped. And I'm hoping we get closure below here. That would allow me to bring my stop to break even right there. So on the 50K account, I'm actually break even if I lose right now because we partialed 50. We're risking 50. Right? If we get the order block here, I'll trail my stop to that high. You can see the nice top there. So I'm hoping we close below here. You could actually add positions there. I don't think I will. I'm just going to go break even and let it ride. Perfect. So it looks like we're probably going to get the closure here. I'm going to go ahead and reduce my risk. So now we're officially break even on the trade. We'll see if it can just run towards our objective. No longer have to risk anything to find out if this trade is a winner or a loser. All right, so we're break even on all accounts. We'll see if this can just flush towards the new week opening gap, which we'll take a profit at, and then we'll look for the previous day's low, obviously. So I want to see this order block respect price. See if it does. Stays heavy here. So far, it's staying pretty heavy. I have consistency rules on my alpha account, so I can't really let this one go for too long. Looks like we may just go straight to TP here. I'm going to take a partial at the new week opening gap. Gonna wait for that patiently. We probably get previous day's low here. There I'm taking a partial. And if we just see speed to previous day's low, like I said, you could leave runners. But again, I have a consistency rule. So I'm just trying to not make too much. Around 2 to 3 hours is perfect for me. I just realized I added 3 contracts. I'm an idiot. On one of my accounts, I added 3 contracts instead of TP3. It's okay though. We already secured the main partial. On the 50K account, I'm fully out. On my 100K account, I still have the contracts, some of the contracts running. I'm waiting for a previous day's low on the 100K account. All right, I'm going to take the TP there. All right. And that's where I'll take a partial there at that low unique opening gap. And this is where I would leave runners to Friday's low. So if I was trading a live account, again, I'm on prop firms. I'm just trying to meet my target. But if I was on a live account, I would be looking for Friday's low as a runner because it's worth it on how much of a distance it is. So that's first trade. I'm fully out on my accounts. I may look to re-enter a protraction model if we get it. So we'll see if we get another protraction. I may look to make some more profits. Or we just trade the Apex. I can switch over to my Apex accounts. I took that on Apex as well. So I'm going to cycle that Apex account and go to the next one. And see if it forms there. There's previous day's low. And like I said, runner to Friday's low. And it's worth it to keep that runner in this case. Did I pass this account or did I miscalculate my risk? Okay, we actually need, we need one more trade. We need $500 more to pass this zero eval. Pretty good data. Good management. See, just looking for reasons to reduce my risk. Never once was I concerned about the outcome. The only thing I was concerned about is opportunity to reduce my risk. Everything else is out. You could close the trade here because ES took out the sell side. But again, I think Friday's low is a good runner objective. Let me make sure it's annotated. Yeah, 23170. And with the stop here, it's pretty safe. You can see the clean protraction models that form. 1, 2. Let's open up chat here because I'm going to close my alpha accounts. Although, actually, I will still trade the zero eval. Maybe we can pass it today. Or I just trade it in the PM. But let's open up chat here and see what people are saying. What was your confluences for this trade? I already said going into open, if we took out the buy side and broke down aggressively. This was exactly in the pre-market plan. I said specifically, if we took out London high or Asia high and aggressively broke down, I would look for protraction model shorts. Protraction model short here, protraction model short there. I said previous day's low would be the draw. So all I did was trust my pre-market plan, and that's it. Today it played out. It could have not played out. Today it played out. It's the same trades I take when I lose. So a lot of people are like, what's acting like I did anything differently. I didn't do anything differently than when we lost last week. Exact same trade. Last time we lost, this time we won. Obviously, when we win, it's bigger than the losses because we're looking to reduce risk repeatedly. And that's it. What's the protraction model? It's just my continuation PO3 range expansion model. What do you use to journal? TradeZella and Notion. I want to take a trade. Where did you get in? But I was scared. You can't be scared, bro. You got to trust your edge. If you lose, you lose. I lose on live stream all the time. People roast me, they make fun of me, call me a shit trader. It is what it is, bro. You just got to keep trading the model. At the end of the day, money will be coming into your account if you can just follow the rules long enough. Did the same, but when I saw it tanking through sells were over and we would reverse from here. What indicator use for Friday's low? These are all markings I make on my chart. You think reversal coming? Maybe from Friday's low, but I think Friday's low is a strong draw right now. Those who don't know how to... Yeah, they'll always make fun. It is what it is. You'll notice today there's no haters because we won. If you guys come back the next time, there's that final... that final level there. So pretty clean executions today. Pretty clean executions. Got the bulk off here. Got the runner to run. Secured all the P&L there. And I will just put this in the Discord right now, straight off. Yeah. Pretty good short. Some of you probably missed this trade, and you probably feel like FOMO right now. Don't feel FOMO. You're not going to catch every trade. I also missed trades last week. Do not feel FOMO if you missed it. If you don't even trade the order block, I mean, you could have got in on the fair value gap. So, somebody sent balloons? What is that? That's like, I got a full animation on my screen. Usually I don't get that. I don't know what that is. Anyway, some of you missed this trade. I know some of you missed this trade because it's not easy to enter where I did. I don't think it's easy to enter where I did. I don't think it's easy to enter here. Thanks for the balloons, bro. I'm not really sure what that does, but thank you. It's not easy to catch this trade. I'm going to be honest. If you copy traded, you definitely easily caught this trade. If you have a model similar to mine or you trade my model, then you know exactly where to enter this trade. There are other models in play here, right? There's a fair value gap here you could have entered off of. There's a fair value gap here you could have entered off of. You know, maybe you had struggle holding it to previous day's low, but you just got to know where the draw is. I only took like 1/4 of the move, but I'm happy. As long as you followed your rules, you can always journal, right? If you missed it, if you missed more, do not wait for macros. I don't need to wait for macros. It would be a confluence. If this setup right here that I'm pointing at was inside the macro, it would be even better. But I would argue this is still close to A+. Because we did a lot of business up. Previous day's low, strong draw. What if I miss it from limit order? I mean, it's up to you. Did you put your limit order where you were supposed to? Reversal coming? I wouldn't look for reversal. I think it's gone. I think this is going... I don't know where this is going, but it's going somewhere. This can come all the way to the weekly fair value gap. I have levels here marked out from last week that were not reached. No, I don't work anymore. What's good, Ryan? Chart colors, please. What's good, Ryan? I'm a guy. I took it on MP5 from order too late. I put the SL to break even. I got extremely FOMO. A lot of you are probably feeling FOMO right now. It's not worth blowing your account or taking a bad trade if you miss this. It's not going to be the only date. No, I took these on all my accounts, actually. This was one I took on my Apex, Alpha. I guess there was one Apex that kind of didn't take this on. I took a similar trade from FPG. Yeah, nice, bro. Right. Just got to do what you got to do. Why such a strong bias for shorts rather than longs? It was a pre-market plan for me already. It's very simple. I already knew going into market open that there was a chance today that we were going to dump. Why? Because I said on the daily chart, the S&P 500 this wick, and that's why I said specifically, if we take out the buy side and aggressively move lower, I'm going to expect previous day's low. If you were here in pre-market, you definitely heard me say that. And then as soon as I saw this displacement, what did I say? I said, yep, I'm switching my bias. We're going bearish. We're going to look for a protraction model short. So I already knew. I didn't even have to do anything difficult, right? All I had to do was say, okay, I'm now bearish. All I have to do now is wait for steps 1, 2, and 3. Step 1, retrace into a SIBI. Step 2, order block, execute the order block or the inversion. If there was an inversion here, I would have taken it. If there's no inversion, I take the order block. Stop goes to the high. And as soon as I take that trade, the only thing that goes to my mind is where can I reduce my risk? immediately. That's the only thing I'm trying to do when I take a trade. How can I reduce my risk? You know, they didn't give us much here to work with. I took off a little bit of a partial here. That helped me reduce my risk. Then I trailed my stop here. That put me at break even. And after that, once you're break even, it's really easy to hold the trade, right? If we trade 10 a.m. power of 3, where the hell do we target for shorts now? This is exactly why I don't trade 10 a.m. power of 3. Because sometimes this happens. The first 30 minutes of market open is crucial. Sometimes, yes, it does go sideways. Sometimes it doesn't. I've been giving free signals, chat, pre-market, don't play, market maker account coming soon. Asia high to London low? You mean London high to... We didn't take Asia high. We got London high, though. But yeah, you've been cooking, Ryan. You're in the zone, man. Keep it up, bro. Do we go up? I wouldn't assume a full reversal. Whenever you see, me personally, whenever I see super strong order flow like this is a sell program. This is algos pumping shorts. Anyone who tries too long will get burned until you just happen to align when the algo stops pumping short. When does the algo stop pumping shorts? Probably when enough sell side is run. Friday's low is a pretty big sell side pool, so it's possible. But if you were going to go long, I'd have to wait for... If I was going to go long, I'd have to wait for the change in the state of delivery. Don't get FOMO. Don't get FOMO. A lot of people, you know what they do? And I know that you guys are doing this because I used to do it, right? I used to do this. I used to not take trades that I planned. This trade was fully planned. I was able to execute, and I'm glad I didn't hesitate, okay? But let's say I hesitated and I didn't take this trade, right? Don't just start looking for longs. Like, you missed it. You were, like, especially if you were bearish. If you were bullish and you're still bullish, that's a different story. But if you were like, okay, I think it's going to come here, I'm bearish, I think it's going to run lower, and then you missed it, don't all of a sudden say, all right, let me start looking for longs now. That's not how the market works, right? It's not going to form both sides for you every single day, A+. That's just not going to happen. How often do you really get a setup that's A+, long and short? Not that often, especially when it dumps like this, right? So if you missed it, it's fine. You missed it. Guys, I missed trades on live stream. I admit to you guys, I hesitated. I was going to push the button. Sometimes my finger is on the button. And I even planned the trade and I still hesitated. And that's fine. That's not even a bad thing to happen. At least I'm not losing money. At least I didn't have to pay. I simply just hesitated. I missed it. I'll catch the next one. You just have to continue showing up. If anything, this is a great opportunity to journal. Talk about where you hesitated and why. Maybe you hesitated here because you thought it was going to come to this fair value gap. Well, there was an SMT divergence there. So like I said, I did not expect it to come there, right? And even if it did, even if price came here and stopped me out, okay, if it breaks down again, I'll just take that trade again. It's the same exact trade. This time we had one more manipulation leg. That's fine. So you just got to know. You just got to know. You still going to trade PM? I will trade PM on my Zero Eval and my Apex account. My other Apex account, the one that I didn't trade today. I had an entry where yours was, but hesitated. Then I also did it yesterday. So you just got to ask yourself, why are you hesitating? I'll give you guys let me give you guys a tip. So we just caught this really nice trade, and it seems like a lot of people hesitated. So I'm going to talk to you guys. I'm going to give you one piece of advice that I think is going to make a very big difference on hesitation. It's very simple. All you have to do is speak out loud before you trade what you're looking for. Don't wait to the very last second and be like, oh, I can short here. Don't do that. I called this short way before it formed. So I knew that if it formed, I was going to execute it. I literally said, once we broke down like this, I'm going to wait for my protraction model. And then as we started going up here, I said out loud for the stream, if we get the order block, I'm going to click sell. I've already decided in my mind, I'm going to click sell if this candle closes bearish, and I'm going to put my stop here, and I'm going to target this, this, and this. How am I going to hesitate now that I've already planned it out in my head? As opposed to saying, okay, we're trading up, we have an SMT, and then you just try to click sell or buy really quickly last second. Of course you're going to hesitate. That trade wasn't even planned. If you plan your trades in advance, you're not really going to hesitate before the trade. Sometimes you will. Sometimes I still do hesitate, even though it's planned. Maybe because it doesn't form that clean. But if you know what you're looking for, then you won't hesitate. So if you can plan your trades in advance, I think that would help a lot of people with their hesitation problem. I was bullish before session, and your speech really helped me to change my bias. I ended up winning short. Yeah, I was bullish on open too. The thing is, I was only bullish until London highs, potentially Asia highs, and then potentially all-time high. But I knew going into open, if we broke down, I was going to switch my bias, and that's exactly what we did. It's not a new week, and I mark it out myself. I missed it also because I want to have a retrace for entry, but these days it always runs it down me. This is a retracement, brother. This is a retracement, and this is a retracement. It's not a deep retracement. Do you want a deep retracement? I don't even want to see, like, obviously you want to see a good enough retracement so that you can get good risk to reward. But besides that, why were you bearish? Basically delusional, and you'll probably know what I'm talking about here. Once I see the 15-minute CISD here, I'm bearish. Because to me, that's a bearish order flow on the day now. We took buy side, and we got the 15-minute CISD. Although we obviously did not close here. We did not close here. But like I said, what I said on live stream was the fact that we broke down. If we get a protraction model, I'm really confident that 15 is going to close bearish. Which means we get a CISD, which means I'm expecting this low at a minimum. And if we're really bearish, previous day's low, Friday's low. Simple. Gotta get some more Discord mods. I don't mind people promoting their Discord or something. Like, if people want to promote their own community, I don't mind. No, this guy's fine. The giveaway, that guy's fine. He's been in here a long time. If people just join and they're like, join my Discord, okay, that's, yeah, get out of here. This guy's been in here a long time. I think he's just doing a giveaway. I wouldn't look for any buys. I'll look for continuation shorts if I had to trade. I'll post a full breakdown later, by the way, for those of you who are interested in my exact model, why I was bearish, and all that stuff. Any updates on your plans for the Discord after streams? I guess that's a decent. You say my. I got you, Ryan. Yeah, I got you twice. I'll get you the third time, Ryan. Let me just put. Oh, you sent me a DM right now. Okay, I got it. I'll remember then. NQ buys from 63.20. That's not even NQ, bro. That's ES. I was bullish pre-market. Explain what made you change your bias. Very simple. So the way I get my bias is the same every single day. I look at the weekly power of 3 and the daily power of 3. Okay. Today was the first day where the weekly power of 3 could have told me lower. However, if you look at the S&P 500, it was not confirmed. The fact that we took previous week's high and closed below, to me, I thought that meant ES had a good chance of taking previous day's low. However, this idea has not confirmed yet. One wick is not enough for me to get biased. So, what did I have to say? Going into market open, I was bullish. However, if I'm looking at the daily power of 3, right? We're above midnight opening price. Originally, I was bullish because we went below. But if we're above opening price, we take out London highs and we break down aggressively, to me, that confirms that, you know what? We are more likely to reverse on the weekly candle right now. This weekly candle. And I'm expecting Monday's high to be set for now. It could reverse later in the week for sure. In my opinion, it just depends whether or not we respect this fair value gap, right? That's as simple as that. If we inverse here or close inside, we can look for a previous day's low the next day. And if we get the full CISD here or the inversion, I'm looking at these levels, right? This is all already planned. Like my whole trading week is planned in advance. I know exactly what I'm looking for. Everything's planned, right? This is the stuff I do on the weekend. So I already had these levels marked out on the weekend, right? Friday's low was there. I saw this. This was, and if you look, like if we go back here, let me show you guys something. If we go back to the weekly outlook, this was already planned for me in advance. All-time high territory. Bias stays long on the higher time frame. The main goal is to scan for high probability longs. However, the immediate draw is previous day's low, the daily bullish fair value gap. If we inverse or get the CISD, my attention goes to the weekly BISI. Right? This is all already planned. So this is nothing new to me. It's not like it's easy when you plan it in advance and then you see it panning out. It's not going to pan out every time. Maybe when you get more experience it will. For me, I mean, it pans out most times if I'm being honest for me, but and that's that. And if you're not there, if you're that's a private group. But if you're not there for that, I share you guys the weekly outlook every single time on live stream. You just have to come at 9:15 before 9:25. It's not new. This is all shared for free. I'm not gatekeeping anything. I'm not hiding anything. I'm not posting in a thing by myself. And today we won, man. We could have lost today, man, but today we won, right? Even though we won today, it's not like I did anything different. It's the same thing I did when I lose. This trade was a higher probability, of course, with the first presentation, alignment, strong order flow, clean order block. But yeah, why did you assume the 930 high was protected today? Because we got the CISD right here. Very simple, right? CISD above in the liquidity pool. I'm expecting the high to be protected if I'm bearish. I wouldn't wait for reversal. You wanted 944? Did you take 944? Pretty clean. That's where I chose my stop. And like I said, you could have added positions right here. I didn't because I didn't want to assume more risk. Could we have a reversal here? We could. I wouldn't favor it. Oh, the 15-minute candle closure. I got you. Did you take it on funded? I didn't match the cap. I did take it on my funded, yeah. We could have a reversal, but it's all about probabilities. What's more likely? That you're going to predict the bottom of the day and we're going to come back all the way up and take this high, even though we dumped 235 points, forming a very large wick on the chart? Probably not. It's possible, though. I will trade PM session again today. Well, bug time frame alignment. That's what I'm telling you guys. Wait for the 15-minute CISD, then the 1 minute. Bro, we're day trading. Waiting for a 15-minute closure. I guess you could hypothetically look for something like this. Like, if you're going to wait for the 15-minute closure, you just might as well trade like this. Realistically, what's the point of going on the 1 minute? You know? Will it go to equilibrium? That's possible. If you want to wait for a retracement trade, I'll share you guys my insight. Listen closely. If it retraces before lunch, I would expect a continuation lower. If it doesn't retrace before lunch, meaning we don't run any buy side, then I would expect it to retrace during lunch. The best thing that could happen is we start engineering liquidity, come lower, and then we run it in lunch. You could also look for a retracement into a fair value gap. That's only going to give you like 1 R, but if you really need a trading day, like, I mean, there's a 5 minute right there that could have given you something. It's hard to know how high it's going to go. You could look for 50%. 50% is not a draw on liquidity. I hate it when people say equilibrium is like the market goes to equilibrium. The market does not draw towards equilibrium. There's order pairing 24/7. There's order pairing, and the markets are being pushed to liquidity pools. It has nothing to do with equilibrium. Yes, the market seems discount and premium because in discount and premium, I'm sure some algos fire. I don't know for sure, but obviously some algos fire. There's no such thing as equilibrium or drawn liquidity. You think the market really cares about reaching 50% here? Why would it? Unless it's going to offer another premium, like an algo run, right? If there wasn't a ton of bullish SMT on the higher time frame, I would have been open to shorts. I don't know. Good thing to observe. But you just have to ask yourself, if you're bearish, are you expecting those bullish SMTs to hold or no? I'm 0.02% away from passive trader on eval. Yeah, I wouldn't even bother, bro. It's not worth it to risk. Just come back tomorrow. Get the best chance at you passing. I got you, Garrett. I'm going to check your message now. Damn, Garrett. Nice, bro. You're cooking. I got it, too. My model I trade the 930 power of 3. Can you explain the midnight opening line? The midnight opening line does two things. It gives me a level of premium and discount. It gives me a level of premium and discount. If we're above, that's good for shorts. If we're below, that's better for longs, right? Bias comes first. That's the first thing it gives me, a level of discount. It also tells me, in terms of the daily power of 3, where we're manipulating on the daily candle, where smart money could potentially be positioning, where algos are going to fire buy and sell orders depending on the day. Here, we went above midnight opening price and we took out the buy side. This is a pretty textbook model. We sweep London highs and break lower. This is a trade I used to take like 2 years ago, right? It's pretty textbook. It's a small manipulation leg, but we went above midnight opening price. That's your manipulation. The rest is history, right? So we offered premium and we offered a manipulation above the opening price. Moving lower makes it a better trade. How to put it on the chart? I have an indicator that marks it for me. That way I don't have to mark it out every single day. It's called ICT kill zones and pivots, in brackets TFO. What's the power of 3? If you don't know what power of 3 is and you want to learn, I'd recommend just watching my YouTube series on it. That's probably the best thing. Damn of a trade, brother. Hope you end the month green. Thank you. I hope so as well, but we may not. Who knows? Can you show the settings? I will quickly scroll through my settings, and you can go back on YouTube. This is all recorded every day. You can study, but 5 lot drawing limit, Asian range, London. It just depends how you want to trade, Delusional. It's okay to miss some trades if it means you're going to get a higher probability trade because of the time frame alignment. But I never liked time frame alignment. I think someone asked recently. I missed their question. My bad, ABC. But I got you now. The reason I don't like time frame alignment is because to me it does not make sense. Why am I waiting for the time frame to align when I'm expecting it to go lower here? It just doesn't make sense. I'm already anticipating it to go lower. Why must I wait for the? I'm day trading, you know. So to me, it does not make sense to wait. That's what I'm risking, right? My risk is gonna tell me if my idea is correct. That's the whole point, right? It's a 4-hour trade. We got filled more like here. Sorry, it's not a 4-hour trade. 2.7. I think like we got the best fill. Out for the day. Appreciate you, Garrett. You got stopped out break even at 9:45. That's a pretty early break even, in my opinion. But if that's what your model says, then I'm wrong. Yeah, you gotta wait. Exactly what Lee said. I don't know what lunch is gonna do. I don't know what PM's gonna do. I have to see what lunch does first. It's up to you. Listen, you guys don't have to. This is how I trade. You don't. If you want to trade with time frame alignment, because maybe when it does all align, you feel like it's higher probability and you trade better with more conviction. That's fine. You're gonna miss some trades. You just have to accept that and say, okay, I'm gonna miss some trades, but when everything aligns and every time frame aligns, I'm gonna have a higher probability trade and I'm gonna be able to execute that. Okay, that's fine. You can trade that way. It's all up to you. Me personally, I can't handle that. I used to align time frames for like a week when I was strategy hopping. But I got pissed because I was able to predict moves before they happened. This is before they happened. Like, I didn't think, okay, we're short. No, like as soon as this candle came, I'm looking for a protraction. I'm expecting it to go lower. So if I'm expecting all this, why am I waiting for the higher time frame? To me, that's just annoying, right? I'm trying to get in on this move. At this point, I don't even care what entry I take. I'm just looking for something to give me a good risk to reward that I can execute with probably a good stop loss, right? That's your edge. So I don't want to wait. Best advice: you achieve the 5 winning days funded and not mess up the process. Turn off P&L. Look to manage risk. You'll get the 5 winning days, bro. Yep. Sometimes time frame alignment can ruin your risk to reward. I get the right prediction, but no entry. That's why I made my entry models very diverse. Tips on over trading? I don't know. Let me ask you a simple question. Are you trying to pass an account or are you trying to get a payout? Are you trying to become a better trader? Because over trading will not let you get any of those done. Over trading, basically, if you tell yourself you're going to overtrade, you're not going to pass accounts, you're not going to get payouts, you're not going to become a better trader, you're just wasting your own time. You're just wasting time. Every time you decide to overtrade, over leverage, full port, you're just wasting your own time. Do you use CRT? Not in the same sense as the trader, but there are concepts like, for example, today we talked about closing below previous day's high, right? That wick from the buy side pool, I'm expecting it to go lower. Call it CRT, call it whatever you want, doesn't matter to me. We rejected off the buy side, showing that we're probably going to put a swing high on the daily. One more day and I take a payout and go enjoy my holidays. Nice, bro. You recommend trying to pass evals in the least amount of days? It all depends on your risk tolerance and how much money you have. If you can only afford one eval per month, why would you try to pass quickly? If you can afford 5 evals a month, okay, try to pass in 1 week then. You can get one every single week, right? Until you pass. I have been using my model for like 6 months. Look, I have like 6 more months until I can trade evals. The model I'm using right now getting me frustrated. Should I watch your series on your model? It's up to you. You don't have to change your model fully. You just have to potentially adjust some things, right? That's all. With alpha, can I have 3 0 accounts or 3 standards? Or I think it's 3 in general. Good shit, Lori. T-Trade and GXT. Nice. Do you use 4 hour and 1 hour? The only time I go to the 4 hour or the 1 hour is when the 15 minutes is not so clear. When the 15 minute has a lot of wicking and I'm like, I don't really know which imbalance or liquidity pool could be tapped here, I'll go to the 1 hour or the 4 hour. Can you explain why you didn't wait for the order block or FEG to be tapped first? First things first, we did tap the fair value gap here. This first presentation. So we did tap that. That's one. The second thing is, why didn't I wait for a retest of the order block? Because I'm trying to guarantee myself an entry onto this trade, right? Trying to guarantee an entry. I don't want to put a limit order here and just hope that it's going to tap me in. Yes, I'm going to get worse risk to reward, but it's still above 2 risk to reward, and I'm expecting it to go towards a certain level. So I'm happy to take it at this candle close. The only difference is risk to reward. That's it. If you wait for it to come up and tap something, entering on a retest, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You may miss some trades. I don't like that. I want to get in. If it gives me less risk to reward because of that, that's fine. I don't care. I'm happy to sacrifice my risk to reward to get into the trade. Some people don't want to do that. It's all preference. I do that because I hate missing trades that I planned in long advance. It would happen repeatedly to me. You just have to make a choice on how you want to trade. There's nothing wrong or right. If you want to enter on a retest, enter on a retest. This is stuff, like these little things, is all from experience of losing or missing or winning or journaling. For example, I never enter limit orders on fair value gaps anymore. Do you want to know why? It's a very simple reason. I was tired of leaving a limit order on maybe the wrong fair value gap. Sometimes I'd leave a limit order here and only this one gets tapped. I was annoyed by that. So I was like, why am I using this entry model? It's pissing me off. I'm going to use another entry model. The second reason is I was tired of leaving limit orders on fair value gaps and price just immediately inversing it. That just annoyed me. I was like, why am I even leaving a limit order here when I could just wait a couple of seconds and see what happens? Doesn't make sense. So it's all preference. Why do I not wait for retests anymore? Very simple. Because I went on a long spree where I was waiting for a retest and it never came. And I'm telling myself, why am I demanding that it retest this level? Why is that a thing? Is it going to make the trade higher probability? No, it's not going to make the trade higher probability. The only thing it's going to give me is better risk to reward. Well, now I have to ask myself a simple question. Am I willing to sacrifice some risk to reward on some trades to guarantee an entry? Yes, I am. Because I'm really good at risk managing. So because I can reduce my losses, not every time. Sometimes I get stopped out right away. But a lot of the time, I get stopped out for less than what my original risk was. That's going to give me good risk to reward down the long run. Gotta give me a signal. I need $2 to make 50%. Alright, bro. We're in this shit together. I got you, bro. Look very closely, man. We're going to get this shit. I sell that hoe. Damn, these candles are large, bro. You need $2? Well, you need 1 point? Oh shit, bro. I really hope you didn't. I'm gonna be honest, bro. If you took this, close that hoe, try again, make $10. Are you in? No, this is a paper trade account. I really it's probably gonna come. If you only need $2, bro, imagine you risk the entire account for $2 and you blew it. Oh my god. Where would your stop loss have to be to risk $2,000? Hold on. You need a 100-point stop. So how many, what is that, 800 ticks? Bro, no way you lose this trade, bro. Let's be real. No way. There you go, TP, bro. Did you get your $2? You need $8 now? I did tell you to close, right? That's on me. L signal, bro. But realistically, listen, there's no way you're gonna lose that trade, bro. You need $8. You need 4 points. You need 4 points, bro. It's not that bad. I'll tell you what my strategy is to try to make a couple dollars. Wait for a candle to wick. So literally, like right now, just buy. And just keep doing this until you get like, you need 4 points, for example. 173.5. I think we hit CP there. I don't know. I don't know. If you ever need $2, $3, $4, that's what I do. It happened to me before. I had $1.78 to pass on a Friday. Had to wait all weekend to pass. I rate you, bro. I did it for 75. You passed? Good shit, bro. Nice. Well, I think we covered a lot of psychology. Covered pretty much everything. Still trading or nah? I will trade the PM session. I think the rest of the morning is going to be pretty dull. Kind of unfortunate that it just went one direction really hard. Can I increase my chance winning the giveaway if you buy multiple accounts? Yes, you can. Yeah, you can if you want to. Just let me know. Is your playlist on YouTube easy enough to understand for your model? No, it's pretty easy. If you watch the PO3 Mastery series from that first episode, it's pretty easy. What I would recommend, ABC, because you've been grinding pretty hard, I would just take bits and pieces. Obviously, you can take the full model if you want. It's up to you. It doesn't matter to me if you want to use my model. But what was I gonna say? But you can take bits and pieces for sure. Let's take out Euro 2 chains. Yeah, today was London reversal. This happened really late. Yeah, you're right. The one shot, one kill didn't play out fully. But hopefully you covered here if you took this long. I didn't check your journal. I don't know if you took this. But hopefully you covered here. Pretty clean. You'd have to wait pretty long though. I don't know when you got in. I don't know if you waited this long. 350 macro. Well, you got the CISD. Early CISD with the protraction there. You could have covered to Asia high. Maybe 50% Asian range. Easy target. When it's nice and choppy like this, right? You probably can get the Asian high. Especially when there's equal highs. Idebro was about to leave. Oh, you caught it? Nice 2 chains. Nice. Why did you take short even though prices in hourly bullish fair value gap? This is what I preach. There's no such thing, realistically, as a bullish fair value gap. It's just an imbalance formed on the buy side of the curve. Whether it's bullish or the characteristic can change. If it's truly a bullish fair value gap, that would mean it can't change. It's just a bullish fair value gap. I was expecting it to inverse. Very simple. Check my gold long at 10.15. Entry, was it A+? I mean, we probably have very different A+ criteria, but sure, I'll check. You said 10.15. To me, this would not be A+. Longing around high of day, there's not much to cover here. Unless there's a very obvious draw on liquidity. I had this level marked out from a while ago. Oh, actually, this was yesterday's stream. I wouldn't give it A+, but it's a decent trade. It's a good enough trade to take out the high here. And maybe that's what A+ is about it, right? If you got in long here, remember, I'm talking about my criteria here, right? So for me, if I was going to enter this trade, I'd have to enter 10.13. Or I'd have to enter... Yeah, really the only way would be 10.13. And the stop would have to be there. Like, there's no... For me, you could have entered here at 10.22 with my model. I guess. If you want to use that. So for me, it's not A plus, no, just because it's too small of a range. But maybe for you, bro. Yeah, I will NQ keep dipping. In my opinion, I think we inverse this fair value gap or at least close below. Although I never try to predict the close. It's not a good habit to get into. But the only reason I say that is because I think we want to explore this. And I think July 2nd low is a potential draw too. It's not a bad trade, Miska. It's not a bad trade. Just for me, my criteria, my model's a little bit different. Why did you take short? Yeah, again, we talked about that. Do you have a neutral bias going today? I had a pretty clear game plan today. It was not neutral bias. I was expecting London highs. I was potentially expecting Asia highs, and I was potentially expecting all-time high. And if any of those levels gave us an aggressive breakdown, I was gonna start looking for previous state low. That was the game plan. Message me on Discord, Ahmed, and I'll add you into the giveaway. You think NQ is gonna? I think it will keep dipping, regardless of the fact. I would never look for a long in this potential price action. I'm not focusing so much on trading right now. Just trying to work on a safe reval account when I'm 18. That's a great idea, bro. I think that is a great, wonderful idea. How much do you risk on the eval? I like to risk $750. I try to pass in 2 trades. I say that, but then a lot of the time I pussy out and I risk 500. So let's just say 500. Today I risked 500. I didn't go with 750. But for the most part, I'm trying to take profit between 1K and 1500 on my 50K evals. Where did you place your stop loss for that sell? My original stop loss was calculated at the swing high here. So this was the original stop. I very quickly brought it to the body. Any payouts this year? Yeah, we got a couple. Why have I been hearing alpha doesn't pay out? Whoever said that is definitely a liar, bro. I don't think they denied one payout. They help every single person who's had an issue. They pay out within like the same 24 hours, bro. Yep, no haters today, bro. Actually, there was one guy. He came and then he left. I think he realized we won today, so he left. There was one guy who was like, this guy's the unprofitable boss. Look at the daily wick and mark the 50%. This one? I wasn't long and the electric ran out. Should have... Has anyone ever faded me? I'm sure people fade me. I don't know if they do. But probably, right? Might have to cop the 0 account. It's a really good beginner account. You gotta keep it 100. How nice is that affiliate money? It's pretty good, bro. Can't complain. Can't complain for sure. Definitely helps. What you gonna do now? Answer questions. Make breakfast. I will trade PM session. But I don't make much, trader. I don't make much. I mean, there's guys. I'm not that big, unfortunately. My community's tight, so people who like me will use my code. Yo, Garrett's him, bro. I don't know how long Garrett's been trading. Garrett's locked in, bro. Are all your evals free? Nah. I think I can get like one free one per month. I can ask for evals, and I don't think they'll say no. But it feels weird asking too much, you know? I'd rather just get it. Appreciate you, trader. Yeah, like I said, people in my community use my code. We also do the giveaways. Alpha really likes me because I support them like fully. So they help me with the giveaways, right? They give me a good amount of giveaways to do. Which definitely helps. Went to Apex and get 90% off. Good question. I don't know. Probably the next holiday that comes up. Where in Canada are you from? I'm in Ontario, bro. I'm like 3 hours from you. I'm near Toronto. That's good though. You deserve it. Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Garrett, what's the sauce? Yo, Garrett's locked in, bro. I'm gonna be fully honest. Garrett is super locked in. How do I enter the giveaway? I bought on their funded. Just message me on Discord. I got you. When you win in the AM, do you bother looking at PM? Yeah, because honestly, the more and more I've been backtesting my PM session model, the more and more present the edge is. I'm even thinking about adding layers to it. Maybe or maybe not. I don't know. But I'm thinking about adding layers to it because it's a pretty clean model, bro. The win rate's pretty consistently like 70%, which is like really good in my opinion. You can just message me, Manny. I got you, bro. I've been knowing you for a long time. Any advice with pinpoint entries? Yeah, if you want to get really good at getting really good entries, it's very simple. Go back in price, screenshot what happened, and then study and say, so this could have been a pinpoint entry. This could have been pinpoint entry. Go back in time and see where pinpoint entries formed, make a model out of it. Yeah, 70% for 1R is really good. In backtest, and I'll tell you what's really good about the 1R ATM model. It forms so much. It forms a lot. The 1R ATM model forms a lot. I'll show you guys the results from... I'm going to do a 5-year backtest. Once I finish this backtest, I'm no longer going to do long backtests. But let me show you guys the stats of the 1R ATM model. We executed it 18 times. 18 times is kind of crazy, right? 18 times is kind of crazy. In 1 month. This is 1 month. Only 5 classics, 7 reversals, 17 protractions, and 18 1R ATM models, right? And that's a lot. Like, that's a lot. Which means this model forms. Which means if your goal is to get winning days or a small rising equity curve, the 1R ATM model is really good. So is the protraction. Protraction forms a lot very cleanly. Obviously, the risk to reward is 1. So remember, don't let the win rate fool you. It's risk to reward that's important too. What is your win rate? On what? I need a more specific question. My win rate on the day, I usually average 60% win rate on the day. Because sometimes I take multiple trades. Per trade, it's usually less. Like 50 maybe, 40. 40 is like more downside. Yep, I have a video on my YouTube model. We can't see the ATM model win rate. Oh, you couldn't see? I don't know how to show you. I'll just tell you the numbers. I don't know if you can see this. So this is only 1 month. Like this is nothing. I've done it way more. But even when I did it before, it was 70%. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is I'm gonna do a 5-year backtest, and it'll probably be my last ever backtest. Could we do some now? Someone asked. Yeah, I guess we can do. Let's do 2 days of backtest. I wanted to do it more on my own, but we can do 2 days. And by the way, there's a lot of losing trades in this backtest. It's not like I'm winning. It's only because... No, I'm not going to record all of it. This is for me. No offense, but I don't really care whether you guys... I'm trying to get this done as quickly as possible. If I record, it's going to really slow down the process. It doesn't look like there's a lot of losing trades, but there is. I lost 15 trades this month. 15 trades is quite a bit of losses. Some days I lost 2 in a row, but I just kept trading, right? Anyways, yeah, we can do some. It wouldn't make sense for me to record, Adam, because I already did 18 months. What I can do though, Adam, is do more live backtesting together. We can do that. Okay, February 2022. It's Monday. There's PMI. I think it's NFP week. I'm expecting good price action this Monday. 10 a.m. red folder, so we got to be cautious for that. This is also an all-time high market. I'm going to look at the weekly chart. We already tapped the weekly bullish fair value gap, so I'm definitely bullish higher time frame. again, me explaining all this, by the way, this is not how I backtest. If I was backtesting right now, I'd already know what my bias is and I'd be skipping to 930. But now I'm explaining to you guys because I can't just do it without telling you guys. So the higher time frame bias is bullish because order flow is bullish and the weekly power 3 says we're likely to move higher. We already tapped the weekly bullish fair value gap. Is it Monday low of week? I don't know. Probably not, but we'll see. Going into the day, daily power of 3. We have chop all the way through. That's not clean price action. London highs open. We have bullish order flow going into open. So my immediate draw is London high. We'll see if we can find a model toward London high. That's London high. I think that's Asia high as well. There was actually a model there I missed technically, but I don't think I would take that anyways. Now, this makes things difficult. Are we going to keep expanding? I do have an order flow. It's all in the PO3 series. If you want, watch my video on daily bias, and it'll cover everything you need to know about order flow. The question here is very simple. Do we break lower because we did not really manipulate below midnight? Oh no, we definitely did manipulate below midnight. We could get a nice classic model short here. Let's see. This is first presentation. It looks like it's going to be a no trade day, if I'm being honest. Because I'm definitely not going to long from up here. So I'm going to fast forward this. I don't see myself taking a trade. We're inside that 4-hour premium. Yep, I think this is just a This is just a no trade day, looking at this. That's your 10 a.m. news. If we start to break down aggressively, I'll let that happen. And I'll short at 1050 macro. Nah, that's not really aggressively, if I'm being honest. I already have the PM. The PM model's already out. Yeah, I really don't want to take a trade in this backtest, this morning session right here. Probably. You could go long here on the protraction model. I really don't like trades like this because I'm basically trying to say that we're going to make a new high on the day. But it's a pretty good trade. I mean, inside the macro, we touched the 15. Very bullish order flow. Let me quickly check how far we are from Asia. We're only -1 Asia. Yeah, we try it. We can try it. So how do I calculate my risk? So in this backtest, the purpose of this backtest, by the way, is not to get data. The purpose of this backtest is to see how can I perform if I'm compounding my risk. So, that's the purpose of this backtest, by the way. I don't need more data on my models. I've already done a lot of backtests on my models. I don't need more data. But I need to practice a different money management system with my model. That's the purpose of this backtest. So don't confuse this with me doing this for the purpose of don't confuse this with me doing this for the purpose of what's it called? Of trying to find my win rate and my risk reward. I don't need all that. I'm way past that. I've backtested like 5-6K trades already, so I'm way past that. So if we get closure above here, I can reduce my risk. There we get stopped out. Let's go to the PM session. I wouldn't take another trade. Okay, I really don't have a clear bias for PM. I'd probably go long though if I had to. So very simple what I do, wait for a bearish fair value gap. Don't have to do anything else besides wait for a bearish fair value gap. I'm going to zoom out here. No fair value gap. Still no bearish fair value gap. Nothing I can do until we get a bearish fair value gap. There we get one. But it did not come from any bullish fair value gap, I don't think. So, I mean, obviously we're inside the 1 hour. But that's really floppy. So I probably just let this go. Unless we form another one here. No, model didn't form. I'll go to the next day. Okay, here we are. clear bias. I'm looking for all-time highs. There's no way I can look for anything else. It might get really choppy here in the morning. See if we get, there's a CISD. I'm going to execute that trade. So reversal model here. Look for something like that. 16 points. 300 divided by 32. 9 contracts. So I'm going to try this long. Reversal model. I'll have a higher time frame objective. We manipulated lower below 930. Swept sell side. Bullish order flow. We could get really choppy here, but I'm happy to take this trade with the risk. I'm going to check ES, see if I can reduce my risk without breaking any rules. Can't really reduce my risk here, so I'm going to wait. ES takes the high there. I'm going to have to partial here. Because, again, I really can't reduce my risk. I'll put my stop loss here. Because if we're going to come to this bullish fair value gap, I'd expect the lower to stay open. And we'll see if we get that all-time high. Looking for a reason to reduce my risk. Has not given me one yet. That potentially could be... Yep, there it is. So I can reduce my risk now. We got an inversion fair value gap from a 3-minute bullish. I can reduce my risk. 10 a.m. news candle. Getting really choppy in here. Already as expected. There we get stopped out. I'm going to look for a potential protraction model. So I'm looking at nothing too clean. If we can get one more manipulation lower, that'd be nice. Looks like we might just go to TP there. Yeah, there it is. So unfortunately, we got stopped out before the final run, but overall, we had a pretty good trade. I wouldn't trade anymore. Let's go to the PM session. This is how fast I do it. So we'll finish this PM session, then I'll head out. It's got to be bullish, right? We're in all-time highs right now, so I'm not going to short. So just wait for a bearish fair value gap. See if we get one. I'm not just going to take the first inversion either. I mean, there's one right there. But again, this is tough. See if we can get the 5-minute or the 15-minute maybe. I'm just checking out. Yeah, so we do have an SMT there on the 15. Pretty solid 2-minute inversion. Like, if I was going to take this, it's really not the cleanest. But we can take it. 300 times divided by 8. 37. I should have taken it right here. That's where I messed up. So this literally should have already been TP. Or I guess not yet. Oh, unless it got the fill there. But it's fine. Stop will go to the 2-minute second candle low. And TP at 1R. Basically needed to take that high there. There we get stopped out. Another inversion. Probably goes straight to TP there. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, we could have put our stop at the low, but it is what it is. I'll do one more day. Now I'm having fun. I want to do one more day. PMI 10 a.m. Super all-time highs. When it's like this, we kind of have to just stay bullish. So do my last day here. Strong sell-off off the open. Again, this would probably change my bias just seeing this. So let's see if we can find a... Whoa, man. I'm viewing that as a protraction model. The only thing is I need a strong draw. We're inside of an hourly bullish. I'm not too convinced. Really don't have a clear bias on this day. I see the 4-hour bullish. We're in all-time highs. Do we get a full reversal? I guess not. I'd probably have to skip the PM session. Yeah, not really any models there. There was the one protraction right there. You could have taken that. That's hard to trust though. Start a New York PM session. Bro, what is this price action? This looks like a chart pattern. Very bearish order flow going into open. We left equal lows. I'm probably going to have to look for shorts in the PM. We also have bearish order flow going into 2 p.m. So we'll see if we can get the PM model short. Have to wait for a bullish fair value gap. There's one. No inversion there. There's another one. There is an inversion there. Did it come from a level that's respected? Hourly? No. There's no fair value gap there. So I can't take that short. There is this one. So we can take this short. Oh, we'll try this. This will be my last trade at the back test, guys. Then I'm going to go make some breakfast and stuff. There we go, stopped out. So we took a bunch of losses today. Probably had wrong bias. We could look for... This could be a wrong bias flip, actually. Let's see if we get a bearish fair value gap. Whoa. Wait, Gatie, before you go, what's up, brother? What time is it? Oh, it's already past 15. The next day is a no trade day, so we can just skip. I guess we might as well just finish the week, bro. We literally have 1 day left in this week. It's NFP day. I guess we might as well do it. NFP day. Do you know how to show 2 charts on Trader Kaza? No, I'll be honest, I've never used Trader Kaza. Sorry, bro. I bet you if you ask ChatGPT, it would probably know. That's a weird one, though. Bearish order flow going into the day. Am I really bearish higher time frame? We might get a previous day's low. I'll look for shorts. That's a pretty clean classic model. I think I'm gonna honestly execute that. What's the risk reward? I can get 1.64. What's that green line down there? Previous day's low, best case scenario. It's a classic model. I think I like it. Let's try it. We have to drop down the risk to 280 instead of 300 because we're down. We're at 14K now, not 15K. 7 contracts. So classic model short. This is our first one of the backtest. See if it plays out. Probably gonna get stopped unless we get the order block there. If we get the order block, we can reduce risk. ES gave us an order block, so I'll trail my stop here. There we get stopped. See if we get another model short. We'd have to get an inversion there. This is really sloppy. Pretty sloppy opening range. So a bunch of losses is backtest, but it's still fine. I really think we can still recoup. Because a couple of wins and we make it all back and more. Nothing really clean. Might just be a full seek and destroy day. Potentially a full seek and destroy day. We can wait for the 1050 macro. And shift order flow long. Alright, 15-minute bullish fair value gap, 1050 macro, protraction model. I'll try this. 11. 2, 12. I'm just speedrunning backtest right now. For those of you who are curious. I'm trying to finish this week so I can just turn the chart off. See if we get a protraction model that I can see. I can now scale my stop here. In fact, we'll just go break even. That's good. I'll have to partial at that buy side. There I can partial. I'm going to take off 4 because I'm pretty convinced in my draw. I'm going to fast forward this. There we get TP, right? So pretty nice TP there. We're back at 15K, so I can, fuck, I just realized I forgot to journal the trades. I'm gonna have to go back and do that. I forgot to put which one was. Let me at least do this one. Ah, fuck me, bro. I gotta put which one was each model. It's fine. I'll remember. I can just go back in the YouTube recording. Um, that was a protraction model. The last short we took was a classic. I'll just quickly do it. All right. I'll have to go do the other ones. Okay, let's finish with PM session, and then we can go. Bearish order flow. I'm just gonna follow that. We'll see if we get a protraction model short. So gotta wait for a bullish fair value gap to form. There's one. Oh, I missed it. I was supposed to short right there. That's my fault. I went too fast. That should have been a short like this. That's already 1R. You can try looking for another one. There's another bullish fair value gap. There's another one. There we got the inversion. All right, last trade of the back test. I think the stop should be here, if I'm being honest. Which means I gotta. All right, perfect. Do the 2-minute inversion. I think that's better. We get stopped out. I'm gonna try it one more time. I lied. Take the exact same short again. Oh, that's way too many contracts. All right, this is the last back test of the this is the last back test of the what's it called, man? The stream. Okay, we lost that one too. So 1R ATM model. Let me just quickly journal. Huh. Not the best start to February, but we can definitely recoup. This is also 1R ATM. All right, let's see what questions you guys have before I go. Why is that stop so tight? It's meant to be tight with this model. Took longer, 10, 12 reversal. Nice, bro. Yo, can you look at my trades in your trading chat? Yes, just at me. Just at me and I got you. Okay, does this have a journal? No, does this? Does this? This? So it's this first long that we took. I'm gonna have to go back and journal these. What a shame, what a shame. I see them here, February. So I could just go back and journal them. I'll see what it is. This was a protraction model long. So I go to playbook. Make sure it's journaled under protraction. Next trade. We took 2 trades here. 1 reversal long. Took long. Nice, bro. Any trades today, bro? Yeah, we caught a pretty nice trade today. I just gotta journal this, guys. I'm trying to keep this back test proper. Another trade Tuesday, February 4th. This looks like a protraction model long. Oh, we got stopped out by 1 tick and then it went to TP. That's on me. Wednesday, February 5th. Looks like we took just the 1 hour ATM model. And then everything else is journaled. Nice. Okay, so it's all journaled now. These are the updated stats for now. But again, let's finish the month before we come to any conclusions. But yeah, that's it. This is the trade I took today. I appreciate you guys coming through. I will see you guys live again tomorrow. Um, yeah, I appreciate you guys. I will see you guys live again tomorrow, exact same time. If you want to be here for the pre-market plan / bias, that's gonna happen at 9:15 to 9. I guess no, it's gonna happen at 9:25. So be there, don't be there, it's up to you. I will see you guys live tomorrow. I'll post the trade recap now. Till next time. Peace. TradeZella is the best investment I have ever made, personally. It is definitely the best investment I've ever made. But if you can't afford it, then just get Trader Kaza. It's like a free version. It's not as good, but it'll help. For sure, it'll help.